Good afternoon. My name is Joe Bandel. I'm the last Rosicrucian. And this is, I guess I'm going to start doing Gaia Ascension updates on a weekly basis. So this is just the weekly uh, upgrade on what's going on with Gaia's Ascension, what I sense happening, um, and just kind of, in a way, it's how I'm choosing to be a little more active and trying to interact with others. And it's also where I am offering the Oak Tantra and Etheric Warrior training course on my Patreon page. So that's only available for supporting members that are at $5 a month, which is uh, very reasonable for what we're having. Before I get into the update on Gaia, I just want to say that I just made available the second lecture along with two meditations, which is a solo meditation and a group meditation, and it's for the Oak third eye activation. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm just going to kind of say that is now available for patrons. Okay, this week has been kind of crazy. As everybody know, we've passed the summer solstice, and I think one of the things I'm going to talk about is the energies changed. Now, I'm going to say something, and some people are going to be able to know exactly what I'm talking about, and other people are going to. It's just going to go over their heads, but I'm going to try. And what I'm saying is that I sense these energies as very real. Anybody that has been in a magical group setting when energy has been raised knows exactly what I'm talking about. Where, hey, this is real shit. This is real stuff. This is this is really happening. And the meditations that I am offering are very real. They are experiential. It's not a theoretical, it's not learning, it's not reading a book, it's nothing like that. It's This is hands-on stuff. And what's happening, I don't channel uh, entities or get my what I am is I'm active on the astral and etheric planes, and I sense what's happening, and I try to interpret that in my own way. And one of the things that has just happened since the summer solstice is basically the bottom has fallen out energetically of the old energy pattern, the old egregore, if you will. Um, that's the only way that I can say it, that I can describe it, is just the energy's dropped out. How I can say that, in a lot of times, uh, my dreams tell me certain things. And I had a dream that really indicated the collapse of an energetic connection that went way back to my childhood days. In other words, it's gone. It's gone. So whenever you have whenever you have energetic connections that are that old, that are that deep and powerful, and this was a significant one. I'm not really going to talk about what it was about, but I say, hey, uh, the whole astral is an interweb, interlaced connection, energetic connections, one way or another. And when something snaps or breaks, another connection's got to be taking place. Well, all around the world, the bottom's falling out. You're having these cords, these astral cords, they're just snapping apart, breaking. And what's happening is the old egregore is no longer functioning the way that it used to. Now, a lot of the New Age channelers, the people that are out there putting out information, they're picking up on a lot of this. They're picking up on uh, the light side of things. In other words, they're saying, "Oh my God, this is time. Okay, the shift is coming. We're shifting to 5D. We're making it. We're doing it. It's happening now." They sense the light side of the ascension that's happening. But as I just kind of noticed, I was watching a video where one of these New Age channelers was talking about it. She was saying, "Oh, it's happening, but there's a pause, and now all of a sudden it's like you're feeling like drugged down." Well, that's because there's the difference between our space brothers and sisters, the star seeds, and those of us that have been on Gaia since the beginning. Because Gaia's ascension is a genetic DNA ascension. And the light that's being brought down and anchored in Gaia is anchored at the lowest, at Gaia's core, at the lowest possible level, at the etheric level, at the Akashic record level, at the womb of creation level, and it is anchored there at the bottom of the DNA. And the first life forms that get this energy in its purity, in its entirety, that get this vital life force, are the ones that have the lowest, they have the DNA sequences that started right at the bottom. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but a single plant, like plankton or whatever it is, a single cell life is not very complex. It's only a cell, okay? But every living thing on Gaia starts out with the same genetic patterns, the same steps. And we'll say that a single cell is going to have very simple genetic structure, whereas the human is going to have a long, complex genetic structure, but there's this part at the bottom where it just starts out, that it's the same as everything else. And that's the vital life force. That's the energy that's being anchored and that Gaia is radiating as she ascends. as she rises, as she lifts. That's where the activity is. That's what that's why every single life form, whether it's a simple single-celled life form or humanity itself, we're all on equal footing because this is root chakra energy. And that's why for this next 2,000 years, the root chakra is going to be the dominant uh, energy that's around. So in effect, what's happening, it's these beginning DNA sequences that are getting the energy. Star seeds come in. Okay, star seeds, they don't have that link, the startup link. They kind of come in and were spliced on after everything happened. So you look at the genetic link of a star seed, the genetic of a star seed, and they're going to have that beginning. They're going to have that structure because they're in human bodies, and that's part of what's passed on. But it's not active. They haven't activated it. Because they're not completely connected. And so what's happening is it's not working for the star seeds the way that they thought it was going to work. The way it's worked every 2,000, the way it's worked for every ascension that's happened. Because for them, the way it's always been is there's been a remainder. There's been all the ones that didn't make it. And Earth or Gaia didn't make it. So she was always left behind. But this time, she's not being left behind. She's taking everything with her. She's taking all of her life with her. And she's taking the star seeds with her too. But the star seeds are struggling because they've got one foot in the dirt and they don't know how to grow it, I guess is the way it is. So that's, as long as they're remaining in Gaia's energy grid, they're going to kind of be, it's going to be challenging for them. Because they're being set up to be the new humans, where they grow that root chakra, where they grow that DNA and activate it personally and individually by themselves over this next great cycle. So in other words, they thought it was all going to be in your head, where you can just kind of mentally create and it happens. What happens now is that you genetically create, you etherically create. And these souls, these advanced, they call them advanced souls, they just they're not developed. They haven't developed that lower end. And that lower end is where the empowerment is right now. That lower end is what is creating the Garden of Eden, the new Garden of Eden. And So talked about that pause that kind of happened as at the summer solstice, where all the stuff starts moving in the other direction, and people are kind of like, "Oh, wait a minute here. This is not what I thought it was going to be." That's where you're at. That's where a lot of people are finding themselves, and that's basically what I'm talking about. As I look at everything that's going on, it's there's a culmination, a crisis culmination. Events gravitate together. Uh, Everything seems to be focused around this fall, around the November elections. Whether it's politics, whether it's the war in the Ukraine, whether it's the economy, all of these things. Everything seems to be converging this fall. And we all have the ability, there's a part of us that knows what's coming. And if we can tap into that, the warning bells are ringing, and it's kind of like, okay, I got to get off my butt and get working on some of these things. And part of what I've been doing, what I've been called to do, is prioritize what I'm supposed to be doing in this new energy. What am I supposed to do? What's my new mission? Because my old mission, that old circuitry's just uh, self-destructed. It's disappeared. It's no longer there. So it's time to do something new. And I had to do some soul searching, and I realized that for me personally, when I'm doing these group meditations, these oak energy ball meditations, these portal meditations, when I'm doing these meditations and there's a circle, there's a group, these people, there's entities that I call the order, what I'm supposed to be doing is helping them, because they are part of my soul group and they could use my help right now. And that's the most important thing that I can be doing with my time and with my energy. That's why I'm focusing more on why I'm offering things for patrons only, because I'm trying to empower my soul group. I'm not trying to empower those people that are going to learn what I have to share and use it against us. No. So these are just some thoughts that I have here. Um, but I am going to continue every week. I'm going to be putting out 3 videos for the patrons, which is a lecture and then 2 meditations, a solo meditation and a group meditation. But I'm going to also do a 4th video that's like this. It's just kind of an update of what's going on. So in summary, what I see happening right now is where people are kind of like, it's not going the way I thought it was gonna go. So what does that mean? And they're kind of taken aback, and depending on where you're at, what I'm saying is, if you feel like it's important to tap into source, tap into the highest spiritual light, and anchor it into Earth's core, you might be interested in what I have to share. Otherwise, you're not. Because everything inside of me is screaming, develop that root connection, develop that etheric connection, work on become powerful on the etheric, the root chakra. This is the next 2,000 years. We got to do this. The root chakra has nothing to do with the 5D stuff. The 5D stuff is up here. I'm not part of that. But I am part of the light and the earth. So it's a sorting out process. This is what I think that's really happening now is people are kind of being thrown a wrench in the works or whatever. And all of a sudden, nothing's working out the way they thought it was. They're trying to reorient. And the tensions, the global tensions on so many things, and everything's, like I said, just seems to be converging around the November time frame, the election, time of the elections, with stuff happening possibly before that. Anyway, that's all that I have for this. Is a short. These are probably not going to. If I'm doing a video every week, there's no reason to have it be very long. But I will find things to talk about. And it is kind of actually letting you know that, hey, if you didn't know it already and you are a Patreon and a supporting member, there is more material available on that course. So thank you. Till next time. Bye.